So this video was supposed to be me skating before I had to go get my teeth worked on. The process has finally begun. Was supposed to be the first day. As you can tell, I'm struggling to talk because this is filmed after me going to the doctor's. Fun fact, and I'll explain it at the end, they didn't work on my teeth. Something else came up and it sucked really bad, so I might not skate tomorrow. So my teeth didn't get worked on today. They had to push that back and I go in like 15 days. Hopefully within a couple months, this shit show will actually be much better. But let's just get to the skating, and at the end of the video, I'll sort of explain a new shit show that I just dealt with that was very bloody, painful, and had nothing to do with my teeth. Currently leaving the hospital. Tried to go to a dentist this morning. I have an abscessed tooth. You will notice swelling in my face once I take this mask off. I couldn't see any dentist today. Everything's super booked up. It's the day after Christmas, so I came to the emergency room and they rescheduled me. I came to the ER and they're like, okay, come back tomorrow. I'm basically just dealing with this abscessed tooth, which if you've ever had one knows doesn't feel good at all. I'm gonna try to skate today. Yeah, it's kind of swollen. Anyways, yeah, I was sick for the past couple days. I was sick over Christmas. Started off with like what I thought was food poisoning, but then I continued to be sick. So now I'm assuming it wasn't food poisoning. I was just sick. Haley and me were supposed to go snowboarding for Christmas and then started feeling crappy again. Bailed on that, feeling better today. So I think I'm gonna go to this park I haven't been in a while. It's down the street. It's usually empty, but it's the day after Christmas. So I guess it's time to hype up all those kids because they just got their Christmas presents, according to that meme. Ton of kids, a lot of them on scooters and like new bikes and stuff like that. I really wasn't expecting it to be this extreme. It's the next day. I'm gonna try again. Hey, look, my face is less swollen. I just went to the doctor's and I go to the dentist at 2 o'clock, so I have roughly an hour and a half to skate. Maybe I'll film a couple things. It's gonna be like a very primitive style. A lot of selfies, and I don't have my tripod, so I cut a cup. We'll see. First, I'll skate some flat ground, warm up real quick, see how my body feels. I haven't skated in over a week. Clearly my energy's not there. Feels like it's when I feel all my foot flopping around and feeling like crap. Let's get something else. I'll play around with this little hubba. I kind of want to slap you back when your nose grind up it. I don't think I've ever done that up something before, so. That was randomly first try. I'm getting the idea. It's really awkward. Pretty ass at switch lobby 50s these days, especially when there's no bottom to it. Try to relearn them. enough wax, but I also have a lack of ambition. And I'm really stuck not being able to warm up. I feel awful. Best bet now, I'm just gonna duck around with some goofy shit. Just skate the park different than I have. That way I don't get frustrated with not being able to do tricks I can normally do. I only have like 40 minutes to skate. I refuse to be frustrated in any of that time. Everything's just super sticky and crappy. The park's really fun, but it's really bad. It's like the kind of park where you can't come here and plan to like learn stuff or get better. You can strictly have fun because there's just everything's just built so carefully. Basically like a 5-0 switch crook, but instead of going to grind, I just try to fakie manual. Shit like this, where it's like just a little bit longer than your wheelbase is fun. Do these like real little rock nollie float overs. They're stupid, but they're fun to have. You can literally get hurt on anything. So even though I definitely prefer skating alone, I definitely do not enjoy filming videos alone more than filming videos with other people. I mean, one of the benefits of skating alone is there's like no pressure to like try to do anything, and that doesn't mean that like when I skate with other people like I gotta feel like I gotta perform, but it's like definitely way less fun to like be stuck trying a trick that you've never done before while your friends are like goofing around. And whenever like I'm filming stuff, like whenever I set my phone up tripod, it's like, okay, I gotta land tricks. I can't just like sit there and dork around. It's not the same. Like filming by yourself is definitely probably my least favorite kind of skating. Like I enjoy all kinds of skating, but that's bottom of the barrel. Like it's fun, but it's definitely nowhere near as fun as just skating. I get the question so often, like how do I like keep skating when I feel like I've reached a plateau or I'm having trouble finding motivation? I always say like whatever you really suck at, just like play with that obstacle or that trick in ways that aren't like maybe the most basic, like just scrounging around or like try to skate an obstacle completely wrong. This dumb little like manual to ride on grind, it's not something that you would like end up sessioning, but in this case like I'm having a super off day. I'm just getting back from getting sick. I got an abscessed tooth, so I'm in a great deal of pain. I'm pretty distracted. You know, I just came back from the hospital 2 days in a row, and then today I go back to see the dentist, so we'll see what they end up doing with this. So yeah, I find myself in sort of like the random corners of the skate park, just trying to like make something stupid happen. And the really cool thing is the side effect is I tend to learn new tricks that way, or at least get like better board control and things that I don't normally do. Or sometimes you just stumble upon like a trick that you like want to learn, which actually happened today when I was sitting on those fakie back 5-0s. A couple of them that I bailed did a pretty decent switch heel flip out, so I feel like I could learn that trick on a day that I actually feel like flipping a switch heel. I did one on flat and it felt awful, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm not there yet. Also, busting my shin open that early in the day kind of sucked. It's already like bleeding through. I didn't think it was that bad, but it's low-key kind of gushing. This town kicks for the skate park, but whatever it was definitely way too much. This place, the bank is so wonky, I can't even pop out of it right. That kickflip nose manual took 4 minutes of trying. That's ridiculous. Yeah, it's just not a good skate park. I don't even think I want to fuck with this thing. It's like not a bank, not a quarter pipe. The transition is so indecisive. So it looks like it should be quarter pipe according to this, but then you can see that they shaved it out to be flat right here. I think because they just poured it wrong and then they tried to like fix their mistake. It had a bubble or something. A little dork with this little thing though, I think it's kind of cool. It's like a bank to noping thing, but it's like kind of connected to the A-frame in a way that you can do tricks on it and then do tricks over the A-frame. I literally have like 5 more minutes to skate, so I'll try to skate it real quick. Little manual to nose scrape down that I've been doing on the flat wire to fakie manual. It's cool they kind of worked out on that. I'd like to do like nose manual and then like bash my nose into it. So like keep my foot kind of far back on the nose and without like using my hands to push off the wall, just like bash my nose into it and then push off the wall using my feet. See how that goes. Hopefully I don't break my fucking toes. The worst part of all this though is like the side effects for me, like being sick has just like left me so tired and weak. Like I get out of breath really fast. And usually when I'm out of breath and out of energy, I'm out of motivation. So I'm kind of here just don't really feel like skating. So I'm just simply gonna stop. That's another thing, don't make yourself skate. I feel like that's a really bad habit and I think it makes people, leaves like a bad taste in people's mouth with skateboarding. So like, let's say you make yourself skate today, tomorrow you're probably gonna wanna not really skate because all of a sudden it's starting to feel like work. When you don't feel like skating, fucking stop skating. Possibly some of the best advice I can give anyone. All right, so started raining. And like, if I'm being completely honest, that was like probably the worst day skating I've had in maybe a year as far as like how uncomfortable I am on my board. You know, pretty stressed out, you know, spent Christmas sick and all that jazz. This year, Haley came down and spent it with me, so that was really rad. We watched some movies. And also like a little stressed out about like, you know, the holiday season and YouTube's pretty bizarre. And of course, going to the dentist is not fun for anyone, much less me, who has a very long road ahead of me. But yeah, you know, I've been like scheduling appointments and stuff and getting this stuff ready to go for a while. It might be a blessing that I have this abscess tooth. Maybe that'll speed it up because when you have the amount of extensive work that I need, it's a whole lot of scheduling and a whole lot of sitting around for a while. And particularly for me, Novocaine doesn't work on me. So I'm gonna try to talk them into putting me under. There's another thing that they can give you instead of Novocaine, and that also doesn't really work very well. So like last time I had a root canal, it took me like 2 hours because it was just so painful. I could like literally feel everything. Like the only thing it did was make like my tongue a little numb and my cheek a little numb, but like my teeth felt like completely normal. That is me still, as terrible of a day as it was, having a decent time skating one of the worst new modern skate parks in California. Like that's not the worst skate park in the United States at all. But as far as like how new it is and how like fresh the concrete is and how like good the design is, worst skate park. And I don't know what that concrete is. That other park that I was like best concrete in the world, every skate park needs this, that is the worst concrete in the world. Like it's really grippy and not that smooth. Like it's like really wonky and wavy. I don't know what they were doing, but whoever was in charge of the boat that day fucking blew it. So I go in there to get my teeth start getting worked on, and what they're talking about is basically I have like 6 teeth that they're going to work on, and then these front ones I'm going to have a specialist go in and most likely they're not going to remove these. They're not in great shape, but they're savable. Roughly, so what we talked about was I was going to get 2 teeth removed in the back, but she noticed a growth on my tongue, which I'd gone to the hospital for before, and they were just like, oh no, this seems fine, it seems benign. But when I went in there this time, this other specialist, I mean, she specializes with oral care, seemed a lot more concerned with it than the other doctor did when I went in months prior. And she was like, no, we need to biopsy that now. I guess when they do a biopsy, they have to like dig in quite a bit. So she went like really deep into my tongue. She also stuck a string through this tongue and stuck it out the other to pull on my tongue to keep it out of the way. And I will go way more into detail about this in another video. Basically, a lot of blood, a lot of funny things happened too, like the conversation between the 2 nurses. One of the nurses hadn't done anything like this. I have another video on my other channel that will go up later this week explaining everything that happened, but it was very intense, very painful and surprisingly comical. So if you want to hear that story, just go over there. I'm not going to be able to talk too well for a couple of days. I had to get like stitches and stuff like that. It is surprising on how painful a tongue can be, but it's not the biggest hiccup. I called the specialist today and started arranging this stuff to get done too. And this did sort of speed up the process, me having this abscess tooth and then going in and then being able to start the dental stuff now, because before I had to wait a couple months to go see someone, and since I had like an emergency abscess tooth, they could like start working on it right away. But needless to say, I'm just going to stay home. I'm going to finish watching Young Pope again. It's my favorite show I've ever seen. You should definitely watch it. I know this video wasn't the best skating and the most entertaining, but it's what I could do today. Plus I was like, had a good bit of anxiety all day skating on top of not being able to skate for a while, just trying to get back into it. But tomorrow's video will definitely be much better. Ton of really good skating tomorrow's video. I know this because I already edited it.